Tanner just went running by. I don't know what's going on there. Uh, Timestamp. It is January 6th, 2026. It is exactly 9:34 a.m. Um, approximately, about around that time, kind of. It's still not AI, just so you know. There's Chat GPT would explode trying to be me, I think. Um, Alright, YouTube. Tiny just took them out. That being Sir Scrappy, A. Cornelius, and if you hear me refer to a dog as Scrappy or Acorn, same dog. It's my Beagle Shepherd mix. Mom was a Beagle. It's when we went to look at the Beagle pups from the litter. I was going to say batch. It's not really the right word. Kind of, you know. It's a batch of puppies. I've been looking for a puppy for a while, and I knew I was actually looking for, like, maybe a Jack Russell mix. I wanted something, the not quite small, like, tap dancing towards medium-sized dog, because I'd had a Shepherd for many years, Rhodey, and I lost him, which does hurt my soul. I love that dog, and he was 13, and I was trying to get him, not trying to get him here, but I was hoping that he could live out our backyard was, at George, was once upon a time fenced in, but with various hurricane activity, the fence had been pretty much destroyed. Milton absolutely saw to the rest of it. So he was an indoor dog, pretty much. He wasn't able to. He was older, so he had incontinence and all that. He wasn't really able to, like, run in the sun because we didn't have a fenced-in area for him to be able to do it. I mean, we could walk, but that's not the same thing as being able to, like, bound through the grass unfettered. And I wanted to, at some point, get him here, because the backyard here at Leo is amazing for dogs. It's huge. And he passed before everything happened, so I wasn't able to fulfill that promise to him, which hurts my soul a little bit. Because I wanted him to, enjoy his last days, being able to romp through the grass, bark at the geese, chase a duck, good healthy dog stuff. But so I was looking for puppy. The main point there, Rhodey, German Shepherd, 70-pound dog, lot of dog, big dog, definitely a dog, and both my kids were a little intimidated by him because of how big he was. Obedient, good boy, but a moose. Rhodey was a moose, and both my kids were kind of like, there's the stigma of German Shepherds that they probably picked up somewhere along the line too. But well-trained German Shepherds are well-trained German Shepherds. They're good dogs. But I wanted the next time around, I'm like, okay, since both my kids are a little, let me get something a little bit more, less gargantuan, So, and I kept having dreams about a Jack Russell, or some kind of Jack Russell mix, which was very odd. I had like a puppy that just kept appearing in dream after dream after dream. And I was like, okay, am I supposed to be looking for this particular, dog? Not what I found. Um, so, yeah. But it's okay. You know, this guy's pretty cool. Um, bit of a doofus at times, but, that's true of most good dogs. Yeah, he was part of a litter that it was a rescue litter, and everybody in the litter were named after tree isms. Um, he had a sister named Maple that I actually wanted to meet, but she got adopted before I got there. Um, there was, I think, Hickory. There was Chestnut. You get the gist. And he was Acorn. So my wife and I met um, a puppy from a Halloween litter named Michael Myers, which I thought might be a hit, and Acorn, and I think there was one other sibling in the room. I'm not sure which one it was. It was one of the other boys. It was all boys. Uh, Michael Myers was more interested in the handler than either one of us, my wife and I. And at one point did go over to my girl and kind of nipped her. Not like aggressive, but Pix looked at me and was like, nope. But this one's sibling was just running around. It was a big room with lots of toys. Was just running around the room playing with all the toys, and was just like, woohoo, it's recess, This guy, though, came bounding into the room, looked around the room, came over, sat next to me, licked my hand about 18 times, sat, wagging tail. I petted him a minute, And then he ran over to Pix and, like, nudged, licked her, sat for a couple seconds, and then started running around the room because, there's other puppies playing, so that might be priority. But he kept coming back over to say hi to me and to say hi to Kelly, so I'm like, sometimes when you're getting a dog or when you're getting a puppy, you should listen to them more than you. So after the third time that he came back, and basically we're both kneeling on the floor talking to the handler while the puppies are running around the room like spastics. At the third time that Acorn came over and sat next to me and started licking my hand, I'm like, we'll take him. And she was like, are you sure? I'm like, he's adorable, he seems smart, and he's picking us. That's how you do this. And she's like, okay, you understand how that works. I'm like, yeah. I'm in my 50s. I've had quite a few hounds over the years. This puppy is choosing me, and therefore I choose him. So let's do the paperwork. So, yeah, Acorn. Hex just came prowling into the room. Yeah, I said your name. Years went back. My 7-toed tuxedo cat. With snot running down your face. What is it with you, sinus boy? Pets are supposed to resemble their owners, but you're that kid in kindergarten that always needs a Kleenex. You know that, right? I love that cat. Health check. I'm okay. Definitely have an anxiety feeling. I think part of it is tomorrow is my mom's birthday, which is, this is one of those, what is that? Big House Bunny. Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam going at it. This is one of those individual cartoon-based mugs that I was telling you about. Again, instead of 4, I have 3 and a dupe of one of them. It might actually be this one that I have 2 of. I'm not sure. But on the lookout for the 4th one. Still can't believe that. It was 2 complete sets. When he listed it, it was only 7. 1 broke before he shipped it. And then 2 more died in transit. So, of the original 8 that were there, and apparently he said they were from an actual animator from Warner Brothers, that he had gotten a hold of their estate, and he had a lot of, like, Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes stuff, but this was, like, some of the last stuff I got there, apparently pretty late. Yeah, started out with 8 and dwindled down to 4. He had 2 sets of the 4. And I have 3 of them and then a dupe of 1 of them. So, sadness, but pretty damn cool, too, so. The gratitude, right? And they are pretty swell. I like them. But yeah, tomorrow's my mom's birthday, which I think the realization of that is kind of hitting me a little bit. Because yes, from an astrology standpoint, my mom is a triple Capricorn. Oh, I just got up like half an hour ago. I made some coffee, some caffee, fun size if you're watching. Made caffee, just so you know what I'm doing. Just so that you understand, if you are not Pam or Fun Size, I have 2 friends. They were essentially my right hands at 2 various places that I worked. I love them dearly. They were very good friends of mine. One of them is very much from New York, and the other is from Boston, or at least, Mass. So, transitioning from one job to the other, morning coffee became morning caffee. But they're of equal importance. Exactly. God, you guys. Oi! All Acorn has to do is, like, look at Tanner, and Tanner is one of my dad's surviving chihuahua. I had to bury the other one a few months ago, because if you ask me, my dad accidentally poisoned him. Because of the bed bug and flea situation, my dad was rubbing Hot Shot or Raid on their coats. He'd put on his hands first and then rub it into their coats as a means of pest control. Because dementia. I haven't told him that Chirp is dead. I can't. Everything else that's going on, I can't. I know it sounds weird because I'll tell him that Mom's gone, but for me the dog is like kind of that bridge I can't cross. Mom is such a big subject that I don't want to lie about it. I think it's the point. You know what I mean? The dog is just really dangerous icing on the cake that I don't want to. And I certainly haven't told him why. I haven't told him it happened. I'm not going to tell him, and I haven't told him why it happened because I haven't told him it happened. If he understood that he pretty much poisoned his own dog, I don't know how he'd handle that. I wouldn't handle it well, in any state of mind. But yeah, over a period of probably at least 6 months, that was his flea and bed bug control for the Chihuahuas, was rubbing that on him. And he had cysts and all kinds of other stuff on the outside of his body, and going internal, and it's not for topical use, people. That's the first thing in the warning label. Do not apply directly to skin, animals, people. It's on there. Seriously, guys. Mm-hmm. What you said. So I made my BTS Subway box. In case you're actually like reading this backwards, it says deliver to Leonardo Station, and then underneath it says attention Snuggle Squirrel. That's become a joke because we buy each other games sometimes on Steam, and it has that whole, two blank, just like a gift card, and it's like just on a lark, on a whim, one day I put in Snuggle Squirrel, so it's just become like a weird, goofy joke between us. So I'm not gonna publish it because she doesn't want to be on camera, but I plan on filming her reaction video kind of thing, because just for my own posterity, I love my girl. When you find that dork that matches your dorkness, just embrace it, grab their hand, and run. My cat's just like planted there. You are the Sphinx. With 24 toes. But I got some paperworky stuff to do and some phone calls to make today. I gotta get the dishes unloaded and reloaded. Got laundry going. One brick. Refill my coffee cafe. Alright, Snuffles. One of the other pet names for Mr. Hexdoodle. Snuffles. He is the cat in the house you can hear breathe. He's always like perpetually snotty. And yes, we've taken him to the vet, and they've given him like sinus treatment stuff, and it'll clear him up for like a week or two, and then he's back to his snotty ways. Finally, oh God, probably after the fourth time. Yeah, it was like after the fourth time we took him to the vet, because we're like, did my cat have, pneumonia? What the hell's going on? The vet was like, he doesn't seem to be that put out by it. And the vet's where we go. We go to a place in Hillsborough County. They've got 3 locations called Harmony. If you're in the area, they're just the best. They don't overcharge you, and their rates are really good, and they absolutely, truly give a damn about their patients. But the vet was like, Mr. Wolfgang, he's just going to be that cat. She's like, I see a cat like this once a month, and they're just like perpetual sinus allergy cat. She's like, he's incredibly healthy. He's fine. He's just going to be that cat that always has a runny nose. We can put him on like some kind of sinus treatment, because I know, again, after the fourth time, or on the fourth visit, we had this talk. She's like, it might clear him up, it might not. The second you stop treatment, it's probably going to come back, because it's just who this guy is. It's just going to be his thing. Like, okay. So, if he's okay, I'm okay. We're doing some Harry and David vanilla cream brulee this morning. I was feeling vanilla-y. I was playing with my lounge a little bit yesterday. Just trying to figure out square footage, space, whatnot. Yeah, we're off of Tom Baker now. I woke up today with John Pertwee playing Into the Spiders. So this is basically what I had in mind over here as far as doing the right side couches and then doing like the skeleton statues. I want to get a different, these are some of the tables that I got in from Temu, which are really great, but they're not really the look that I'm going for. Because I wanted kind of like some kind of side table for in between. And I've got another set of the couches coming in. Those are the OMG, LOL, OMG, MGA, WTF. But and it might even be coming in today. I've got the right and the left coming in, which square footage wise, I might not even use. I may use the left, but not the right, because I'm going to have them kind of going down this arc. This is another piece that I got in, which is also LOL, and next to the karaoke stage. And again, I've still got to pull and paint everything in here. I thought that might be a cool like divider wall. I want to do the like pom-pom material, the tassel type material here to like create, number one, to mask the brown, and number two, to create kind of that entrance type scenario into the lounge proper. It makes sense to me, and it'll look good when I'm done. Still figuring out the bar situation, obviously, but I went ahead. I've got. Do I have it on there? Yeah. So, and again, I still have to paint things, but I have Lauren on the what is going to be the stage with piano next to it. This is going to be like the bar area, and I'm going to have something here, possibly like a couple of chairs and a table in the middle of the floor there. I'm not sure. I kind of want to put them, because I've got a couple of chairs, which, again, the LOL. My kid does not make spot checks. You were almost on film. Oh, shit. But yeah, there's a couple of LOL chairs that I have coming in that are shaped like musical notes. I'm going to see what they look like. Hopefully they're not huge when they get here, but they may be like perfect, fantastic to put like right near the karaoke stage. I still have the disco ball I need to try and put up. But I want to figure out what furniture I've got going where before I start painting, because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time painting stuff that I'm actually not going to use. You know what I mean? That whole, okay, good, I painted it. It's not in the set. So, it's coming along. And of course the library's making some progress. Apparently, Snake Plissken and Lilu have stopped by for an afternoon reading. Work in progress.
Okay, finished.
So yeah, that's going on. But yeah, we got it. Pix will be over here in a bit. She's doing a little Stardew, hopping in the shower. She's going to be getting a crate, probably a medium crate from us here. We've got all the supplies here, you know, in that respect. 'Cause apparently Queenie is out of control at night. So she's going to do a go to your room kind of thing at night with Queenie. We have 7 cats total. Queenie is one of those cats that maybe in a perfect world would have a house all to herself. We're not sure what we're doing there. The thing is, Queenie likes me, likes Mom, loves Tiny. So it's possible that when everybody gets here, Queenie is just going to be like, you know, attached to Tiny like a face hugger. And maybe that'll chill her out. I don't know. She's been a problem child, though, for a couple years. I'm not sure what we're doing there yet. And Queenie is Jinx's sister, actually. There was a third in that rescue litter, but we lost him. He passed, which sucked. Because he got some kind of kidney thing and was gone like in a day. We didn't even notice it was happening. That sucked. He was only like a year and a half old, and I loved that cat. So. Sucks. I hate losing people. In a year and a half, it's like, man, that's unfair. You know? And I'm not mad at any day. You know, Lorgia, my old lady cat, man, 17 years. So it's not like I don't take care of my animals. You know what I mean? The first 10 years of Lorgia's life were rugged. She was an outdoor mama tomcat who adored me and I adored her. So, first 10 years pretty much, first 9-10 years in the wild, still made it to 17. Ferocious little girl. That was weird. I like blink. Oh, that's real weird. So I've got a couple things coming in today. Some LOL furniture. I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to use and not use. That's part of the fun. And whatever I don't use, you know, put it in the box and maybe it'll get used in the next thing that I decide to try and do. I don't know. Hi, Scrap. The dog is surgically attaching himself to the stool and my leg. Not like that. I haven't seen him do that, like, ever, which is cool. Please don't. You know, if you know, you know. If not, ask somebody you trust. And wandering off again. I don't know what his deal is. been weird. But, yeah. So I got the Subway box ready to go. Got some Temu stuff. There's some stuff that came in that's absolutely hers. My girl is also a huge Hello Kitty fan. But, got in some, like, mixed lots of Barbie stuff. Small props. There's some plants in here, which is going to make her day. Because she was looking for, like, a decorative houseplant kind of stuff. But, like, some of the Temu stuff that I got they're like little Hello Kitty acrylic bowls. She's going to freak out. Got 2 packs of them. I think there's 12 in each. Yeah, 12 pieces. I'm not a Hello Kitty fan per se, you know, because I'm a dude. But they're cute. She's gonna love them. She wanted a pack of squirrels for pets, so 9-pack of resin acrylic squirrels. They look pretty good. And scale-wise, they'll work for like her Monster High and whatnot. Not sure what she has in mind exactly. Sometimes you just don't ask. A couple of Temu books that I'm not sure if she has. Well, not Temu, but Zuru. I think we're okay. These were neat. I'm not going to fight her for them because realistically they're kind of big for my scale. But trick or treat buckets on a miniature scale. There's like a witch, a zombie, a ghost, and then like 3 different faced jack-o'-lantern ones in the set. I got her 2 of those. We were skeptical on the scale because, you know, looking at the picture sometimes it's hard to tell. So, you know, I was like, if, you know, they're in between, I might grab a couple. I still might. They're kind of like, they'd be like big bucket size for like a 6-inch. But she was concerned, and me too, you know. Again, when you're buying stuff and you're like, is this going to work? Yeah. Like the pianos. The pianos are a little smaller than I thought they'd be, but they'll still work for a 4-inch scale. Okay, cool. You know, but we've gotten some stuff in different doll lots that they're made for like a 2-inch doll. You know, barely bigger than a Polly Pocket. It's like, they work for very, very small little siblings for Monster High as like toys, but they're not practical for anything else, you know. But yeah, the Halloween buckets, I think she's gonna go berserk. I'm glad I got 2 sets because that's one of those things that I don't know if they'll pop up again or not. And I'd much rather get her a couple more than she needs than have a couple less than she'd like. And again, hitting the like reduced pricing, clearance pricing stuff on Temu, gotten in some really neat stuff, and the prices have been really, really cool. You know, we have spent a couple $100 on there, but my God, the things that have come in. A lot of really great stuff, and it would have cost us, because we have priced like dollhouse furniture and stuff like that through the various craft sites and craft stores and whatnot. The $200 that I've spent would have been $700 easily. So yeah, I kind of have a new vice, a new place to hang out and spend money. I don't necessarily need to, but I am holding back on the spending right now just because I'm not sure what the waters ahead are going to be like. I've got enough to get us through a couple months pretty easily. Um, I just feel like I'm getting that phone call here, and then everything changes. You know? And I'm mixed on that because it does give me the keys to the kingdom and the crown prince, that kind of attitude, you know? It's kind of how this works. And I want what's best for my dad. I don't even know what that is anymore. I don't even know what that is, you know? His brain is so broken. And you start getting into that quality of life question. Can he still experience joy, you know, or is it all fear and paranoia? You know what I mean? Is he in a dream or a nightmare? No, I don't know. You know, I know up and down, right and left, and all that, but this one, I anyway. But I'm gonna do some dishes. Very exciting stuff. Mm. My girl will probably be along here in a bit. Yeah, I got a couple things coming in. Cool. Alright. My outro is getting longer and longer, right? Hug your parents, hug your kids. And remember, it is a choice, though. Make it a great day.